Since I really enjoyed making my first plant tour video a few weeks ago, I decided to do another one of the bedroom plants. This is really a beautiful space that has not as much plants as the living room, but there are some real beauties here I want to share with you. And this is the only space that gets some direct sunlight at this time of the year. And as you can see, it's really magical. Hi everyone, my name is Alina and I'm a plant lover. Welcome back to my green leafy space. Today we're filming from our bedroom leafy space. I'm really excited to share this space with you. This is currently the only space that gets some direct sunlight, and this is how it looks. So I really wanted to start filming early today because I want to share this space with you in those beautiful sunny moments. I believe the sun is gonna leave us, I believe in like 30 minutes, so let's enjoy it in the meantime. I have here about 20 something plants. Some are in soil and some are in water. I'm going to share all of them with you. Just a little bit about the light conditions in here. We have a east facing window that doesn't get any direct sunlight, unfortunately, in the winter time, because the sun is lower and there is a building blocking it. And this window is a south window, but there is a wall starting to block the sun at some point. So we have the mornings here lighting up with the sunlight. Of course, in summer there's much more light inside the house. So before I start the plant tour, I have something really exciting to show you. And I'm gonna give you some background. When I started making content on Instagram, I felt like I want to make a product that every plant parent out there will enjoy. And I always knew it's gonna be a journal, but it did take me some time to figure out exactly what I want. And it definitely took a few months to make this journal. So I'm really excited to share this beautiful plant journal with you. So most of the illustrations here were made by me, and it was inspired by our green home and our leafy spaces. So I think this journal will be really amazing for new plant parents. Just to make more sense of plant care, you just write everything, and if you're not sure about like watering or when you should change the water of your cuttings, then you can definitely write everything here. And for more experienced plant parents, I think the ones that love journaling, this will be amazing for you also. And me, I'm really excited to start filling this. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna link my journal, and I'm so excited to finally show this to the world. If you get it, then I really hope you'll enjoy it, and I really love to hear some feedback from you. And if you're gonna get it, just, I don't know, tag me in your stories on Instagram. It's gonna be so exciting for me to to see other people use it as well. So yeah. As you can see, I have these cute rays of sunshine, and that's because I have some sun catchers on my window. One is a disco ball I made a while ago, and the other one is a crystal. I've been using those crystals in probably every spot that has some sunlight, because I really like this sunny, beautiful vibe. I feel like it's really such a magical moments inside when the sun catchers are in some direct sunlight. But I'm definitely going to share with you the crystals. I think it's such a beautiful addition to a sunny space. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start from this green space. This is definitely one of my favorite spaces in our home right now. I really enjoy these plants and I think they really like this environment. And I think I'm gonna start from this golden pothos. If you saw any of my previous videos, you definitely know that pothos is one of my favorite plants to grow because first of all, it's so easy. And second of all, it's so rewarding because if you give it the right conditions, it's gonna grow and gonna fill out your space in no time. And I really enjoy this plant in this space. I think it gives so much to this wall and this macrame I did a while ago. You know, I water it when the soil is totally dry. It gets some bright indirect light. If you don't have a pothos, I definitely recommend getting the golden pothos. It's pretty easy and grows really fast in the right environment and just fills out the space. It looks so green and so beautiful. So if you don't have one, you should definitely get this plant if you're into easy plants. Next is my peace lily. So this peace lily is a part of a fuller plant I had, and I kind of wasn't like getting fast enough to water my peace lily, so I decided to separate it into two plants. This is one of them. The other one I left in soil and it lives in my son's room, and I usually try to water the one in soil on time, but I decided to start growing it in water because I couldn't water it on time. You know, peace lilies are so dramatic, they will drop their leaves and look really, really sad. When you move a plant from soil to water, it's not ideal because there is going to be some soil left. No matter how much you wash it, there is going to be some soil left inside the roots. So if that's something you're gonna do, you need to know that in the first like months or so, you'll have to change the water much more, and you'll have to wash the root system a few times even after you move it to water, to get rid of all the soil. If you are moving your plants to water with the soil roots, I have to say that it will get worse before it gets better. And the reason is, from my experience, that a lot of plants will shed their soil roots and will grow new water roots. So if you moved your plant from soil to water and you see the roots in not the best condition, just give it some time to grow some new roots that will enjoy living in water. If you've seen my Pothos care video, then you'll know that usually I don't submerge all the root system underwater. I leave some of the root system to breathe. Okay, so let's move on to the next plant, and this is my Tradescantia, and I have it in really a lot of different light conditions. It can live in a bright indirect light, and it definitely can live in some sunlight. I have one on my balcony in a morning sunlight, and it really grows like crazy. So it's really easy to propagate it. You just cut it, put it in soil or water, and it grows new root system. So I've had it here in some bright indirect light for a pretty long time. As you can see, it has these purple beautiful leaves, and by the leaves you can decide if the plant has a proper light conditions. As you can see, it still is purple, so it means it's pretty happy here. The one I have on the balcony is definitely has a even more purple leaves, but it has been pretty happy here. It has been growing beautifully, and I think it just adds so much magic to this space. So I really, really love it. I water it when the soil is totally dry. So I really love taking cuttings of this plant and giving it as a present. You know, first of all, it's so easy to root, and second of all, it's a pretty easy plant. So if you're giving a present to someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience with plants, this is a great one to start with. Okay, so to the next plant. This is a Sansevieria moonshine. I got it 2 or 3 days ago from IKEA. I kind of needed a lower light plant, you know, in this space. That area in the corner, it has less light than this space, of course, because it's closer to the wall and doesn't have a lot of light from the east facing window. So I decided to get this cute Sansevieria. I really love Sansevierias. They are so easy, and I really like this one. I never had this variety of Sansevieria, and I got this cute pot. It's a new product in IKEA. I got this one and in a bigger size. So yeah, I think it's a perfect spot for it. And I really love those light green leaves. Okay, so I have here a really cute cutting. It's a Zizzy raven, and I really love it. It looks so cute. So I have been growing this one for, I believe, about 3 months. And I do have to say, if you want to propagate your Zizzy plant in water, you really have to be patient. You have to change the water about every 2 weeks. And it is gonna take time for the roots to develop. For this one, I think it took maybe even more than a month. You just be patient, don't throw it away, don't try to move it to soil, just give it some time and the roots will come. So I'm using this cute hanging propagation station. I really love everything that is wood, and I think it looks really amazing with plants. So I have 4 of these. They come as a set of 4, and you know, you can hang them like together in one space, but I did separate them, and I'm definitely gonna link it. I think it's such a beautiful way to like show off your cuttings. And I believe that, you know, every leafy space needs some like extra touch of like books. I love adding books to my leafy spaces, and you know, something to hang on the wall, some beautiful picture, or any other like a macrame or something that you really love. And I saw this online and I was really excited about this, and I think it looks really beautiful in my space. I'm gonna show you some of the plants from this space. Okay, so this is my beautiful Syngonium Mojito. I really love it. I have added these trellis, and you know, before it was just falling off, and now it looks so beautiful. I really believe that some plants will just gonna be much more happier when given some support. And I added this cute crystal here. Also, it doesn't come with the trellis, but I added it because this is a space that gets some direct sunlight. So of course I had to add a crystal there. And let me give you a closer look. There is a new leaf coming. This is definitely one of my favorite plants to grow. Do you see it? So it enjoys bright indirect light. It does have some direct sunlight at this time of the year in that space, and it's been growing pretty well. I did take a lot of cuttings from it that I grow in water. I water it when the soil is totally dry. This is a beautiful Syngonium variety. I love it a lot. Okay, to the next plant, and unfortunately I couldn't find the name. I believe this is some sort of a Ganima, but I really couldn't find what variety it is. If you know the name of this beauty, definitely comment. Let's talk about the Aglionemas. The Aglionemas are such an easy plants to grow. They need a bright indirect light and watering when the soil is totally dry. As you can see, there's a new leaf here. They will definitely forgive you if you don't remember to water them on time. And yeah, I think I have a few varieties of Aglionema, and this is definitely one of my favorite plants to grow. So easy, so fun, and the foliage is so beautiful, and I think it adds so much to every green space. I really love this, how it looks with this cute pot, kind of the same like jungly vibes. Yeah, so if you know the name, please write it in the comments. To the next plant. This is my Aglionema First Diamond. So if you have seen my previous video, the plant care, in that video I separated this plant from a bigger Aglionema, and I just wanted to add this beauty to this space behind me also. And I chose this one because it doesn't need a lot of light. It does get bright indirect light, but I think it can live in a like medium light also, and it is going to be happy. As you can see, there's a new leaf and the variegation is so beautiful. I really love it. So as the previous Aglionema, it lives in a bright indirect light, but I do have one Aglionema that lives in a medium indirect light, and it is pretty happy. It has some tendency to mealybugs, so you definitely should check your plants every time you water them, not only the Aglionemas, all of your plants. I'm really happy this one is healthy, and this is the other pot I got from IKEA a few days ago in the bigger size. This is the smaller, this is the bigger one. I really love the color. It was a really nice price also. Okay, so I have here this cute Sansevieria. It looks pretty funky and weird because I had it for some time in a low light conditions, and I don't think that Sansevieria really likes low light conditions. It definitely can survive. I believe that the only plant that can live in lower light conditions are the Zizzy plants, and I do have them in every dark corner. But Sansevierias do enjoy bright indirect light if you want them to be happy and if you want them to grow and thrive. I think it's really cute. I love how it looks with this pot. And yeah. So the last plant in this space is this Dracaena. I've had it for a really long time, I think about 6 or 7 years. It used to be like really short and really small, and this is a plant that I enjoy so much. I do feel that this is so rewarding because you can grow such a big plant in a not as the brightest light conditions. It has a bright indirect light. In the summertime it does have some morning light, and it just has been really happy for all the years I have it. So really beautiful plant. If you want some jungle vibes, a bigger plant to grow not in really bright light, this is the perfect one. I really love it. Okay, so let's move on to some other spaces in our bedroom. More plants I want to show you. Okay, so moving on to this space. This is a piece of furniture I have built, I believe, more than 4 years ago when I was like 8 months pregnant. Had another like shelf here, and it used to be a changing table, like for diapers changing for our son. He's 4 years old now, so of course we're not using it anymore in that sense. So I think it's just perfect in its, you know, how high it is towards the window. And I am thinking of making something different here. I want it to be a little bit bigger, and I think I want some more storage. So I'm still not sure what I'm gonna make. I always have a lot of projects in my mind, and I do tend to give it life, those projects, but it does take time usually. Let's start from my Monstera cutting. I did show this beautiful cutting to you in the previous videos. So it's definitely one of my favorite plants to grow, Monsteras, and in water it has been just the most beautiful journey. We did have some troubles with this cutting. It had I think like 80-90% of the root was rotted, and I did have to cut most of the roots, and I left some aerial root, and it just grew all the roots like in really no time, and it never hurt any of the leaves, the root rot I had. I do have to say that I believe I've made one of two mistakes, or maybe both of them, that made the root system to rot. And I think before I used to fill the whole root system in water when I would change the water or just add some water, and the roots just couldn't breathe. And I think that's what made the root system to rot. And the other mistake I think I've made was that I believe that I might gave it just a little bit too much of fertilizer. You should definitely be more careful with fertilizer in cuttings, because if you give it too much, it definitely can hurt the plant much more than it will give it some benefits. So I do have a project I'm gonna do with this Monstera. I feel like it became just a little bit too big for this space, so I think I'm gonna make a wooden stand for her, and I want to put it on the floor. I think I'm gonna put it here, maybe this high, so her leaves do get a lot of light, but she's not gonna be on the table anymore. I'm definitely gonna do it soon, and I'm gonna share this with you. Really excited about this project. I don't think I can take out the root system out of this vessel, so I am gonna look for a bigger vessel for this beautiful cutting. I'm not planning on moving to soil in anytime soon. I feel like if it's happy, I'm happy. I'm not gonna move it. I have these two cute cuttings here. This Pothos cutting is the reason I always say every stick is so important, because check this out. This is just I propagated a Pothos, and it just was a stick without any leaves or roots. I decided to leave it. It's so exciting to, you know, to think that this might become a like full plant one day. And this is a string of turtles. I kind of started over with this cutting because I didn't change the water on time and all the root system died. So I started over, and yeah, looks really cute. And I do see some new really small roots. So cute. Okay, so this is, again, if you saw my previous video, I took a cutting from my heart leaf, Hoya, and I decided to try and give it a moss ball, and I really love the look. It was in water for only like few days before I potted it. It has almost no roots, and it does live in a pretty big pot for having like no roots. But I am really cautious while watering it. But I am waiting for some new growth. Yeah, I really love the look. So so I really don't know what to say about this Calathea makoyana. I am kind of lost with my Calathea, so if you have any good plant care advice, please write it down in the comments. Because yeah, I've had it in soil. Of course, it started with the browning of the leaves, but it did have some new growth, and at some point she had thrips. And as you know, my go-to when I can get rid of thrips in plants in soil, I just move them to water, because then it's easier for me to shower the plants much more, because then I don't overwater them. So this is exactly what I did with this Calathea. And to tell you the truth, it has been really happy. So yeah, I give her distilled water, and that's it. If she's gonna be happy in water, she's definitely gonna stay there. We'll see. As I said, I really enjoy Calatheas, but they are so much work. And it's kind of annoying that you have such a beautiful plant that's starting to look sad and have these like brown tips and brown spots on the leaves. But in the meantime, it looks pretty happy. Okay, so to the next plant. This is my beautiful philodendron ring of fire, and this is definitely one of the prettiest plants. So special. It has this new leaf coming, this beautiful like pink orange variegation, and I think this is like the first philodendron that I'm getting along with. But it doesn't need a lot of care. I water it when the soil is dry, and it has a really good light conditions in here. The variegation is beautiful. I did had it on my plant wish list for a while. Yeah, I love bottom watering it. I put it in my watering tray and just let it sit for like half an hour, and it has been really happy. There's a lot of plants in this space that I really love and really enjoy. I think it's like such a good light conditions in this area that I can grow here most of the plants I like. Of course, like succulents and cactus wouldn't really be happy in this space, but all the other plants, this is really perfect, especially in the summertime. There's some direct sunlight. All of these plants just enjoy it so much. So this is my beautiful Hoya compacta, and this plant I really enjoy growing it. It was much longer. I took some cuttings from her in the last like few months, and it used to bloom a lot this summer. And you know, the scent of her blooms, it's so sweet that we just couldn't like sleep with this scent. So every time she bloomed, I took her to the balcony. I have to say that with this one, the blooms are not as sticky as the heartleaf Hoya. They do fall off and you do need to clean them, but they are not as sticky as the one I have on the balcony. And I've had it for a really long time. I think also like 6 years. I water it only when the soil is totally dry. On her leaves you can see that she needs water. Right now I just watered her and showered her yesterday, so she definitely, her leaves looks beautiful and plump. But if she needs a drink, you will definitely see it on her leaves. Okay, so for the last plant in this area is a Zizzy plant, and it might look like it's potted in soil, but it's not. It's in water. I do have, I'll try to take this out. I took those cuttings not long ago, but I do have one that has been in water for a while. Okay, I think this is the one, because yeah, so this one I had in water for a while. as you can see, it has some, roots developed. It's developing some rhizomes, and it has been pretty happy. And the other cuttings in there I took not long ago, a few weeks, and it will, as I said, with my raven cutting, raven Zizzy, it will take some time for them to root. So be really patient and just give it some time. And yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna wait until they root, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna plant them, but I really like this look. And I do have to say that this is a macrame hanger I made a while ago, and I really love the look. And I'm thinking of making a DIY to show you how I make them, so you could make one yourself. It's not something really complicated, although it might look like that. So definitely tell me if you would like me to make a DIY of this hanger, or maybe some other. I'm not sure, but definitely tell me if that would be something you're interested in. I do want to show you this cute cutting I have here of the Hoya compacta. It's also in that hanging propagation station. I took it a few months ago, and it has developed those beautiful roots. Looks really happy, and that makes me really happy. And I had this like wall here with like empty, nothing on, and I think to add a touch of a cutting on an empty wall, it's really magical. Okay, so this is the last space in our bedroom that I wanted to show you. It has some plants that grow in a pretty, it has like in the morning it has some bright indirect light, and most of the day it's kind of a medium light conditions. And I think I'm gonna start with this string of hearts. As you can see, it drops leaves all the time, and I have to say it's not the most comfortable growing it inside. I do have two of these on the balcony. It has new growth all the time, but the leaves are kind of small, and I believe because it has medium light conditions. I water it when the soil is totally dry, and I think it adds so much to this space, so I'm definitely not going to change it in the meantime. Okay, here I have another hanging propagation station, and I have here the cutest piece of lily cutting. This is really cute. I really love these small vessels. You can put like small cute cuttings in them. You can have the most beautiful root views ever. So yeah, I took it from the one in water. Just took another cutting to add a cute touch to that space. I have here this cute sansevieria that has some new growth. Some of the leaves are pretty old, and I think they're not gonna live for much longer. But yeah, it's really cute. I love sansevierias. They're so easy. I water them when the soil is dry, and then some more time. But yeah, it seems like it enjoys this space. So I have two bamboo plants here. I got them as a present from my hubby a few years ago, and they are so simple. I do hear from people that they grow them in like no light, really like low light conditions, and they grow. I do grow them in like rocks and water. I just add water once in a while, and they seem pretty happy. This is a shelfie I have built, and I do have this part that I added it specifically, to catch plants if they tip over. So even if it tips over, it's not gonna break the vessel, but I think I need a bigger vessel and I might combine them together. So to the last plant in our tour, this is a cutting from a Hoya I took from the living room. So I did tell you before that, you know, my Hoya in my living room used to be a really big and beautiful plant until it got mealybugs. And I started treating it with the solution I make for treating the plants. And I found it in a pretty bad condition. The infestation was pretty bad. So usually when I have a really bad infestation on plants, I take cuttings. A few reasons for that. First of all, I do want to save, even if I can save all the plant, I can save a little part of it and grow it to a adult plant. So this is one of the reasons I take cuttings. And the other one is that it's much easier for me personally to treat cutting for pests than a big plant in soil. I did treat it with some alcohol, and it is pretty happy here. It had some new growth. I have to show you this beautiful white leaf. This is a new growth. I do believe it needs just a little bit more light to be happy, and I think I will move it. So it has been mealybugs free for a really long time, which makes me really happy. The mother plant still has some mealybugs, which is so annoying. Please check out my new plant journal. I'm really excited about this, and I would really love some feedback if you as a plant parent would like to use something like that. And I'm really excited to start using it myself. Okay, so I think this is it. We talked about every plant in this beautiful space. I'm really excited to show you this space again in the springtime and in summertime when all this space is full of sunshine as well. If you haven't watched my previous video, it's about plant care. It's kind of relaxing vibes. I'm doing some repotting, restyling, some cuttings care. If you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you soon. Bye!